Tools are not my friend. I use them a lot, but I don't like them.
I'm the ringleader of the circus. I'm the zookeeper.
Oh, it's heavy. Make me do the hard fucking part. It's pretty heavy. Holy shit.
If you think of a regular, pretty good size antique store, we're 200 times bigger than that. It's not just an old warehouse full of junk. It's a showroom full of wonderful, outrageous, big, small, great stuff. We've reclaimed it off of buildings. It was going to go to the junk pile, get smashed, demolished. We've rescued it at the risk of our own lives many times. My customer is a little bit of everybody, from a $2 crystal up to a $20,000 table. Certainly designers do a lot of business with us. Big companies for store displays and things like that. There's things here from every price range. But our main business is really regular people.
Oh shit, my back hurts. Is it that heavy?
I've known Stuart about 25 years. Stuart is independent.
Put your end down. Down. Up. Now put it against the fence.
Very self-motivated.
Lend me your jacket.
Will I get it back?
Yeah.
Stuart is driven.
Hold this damn ladder.
Stuart is obsessed.
Albert, the tool, there, let's go.
I think Stuart's the greatest guy in the world.
What do you think, Todd?
Come on down here. I've been here now, I'm gonna say about 9 years.
You've been pressed 450, but you got a little cold sometimes and you can't come to work.
Hey,
You are a princess. You're
that's
too
all
much.
right. We all have our special needs. When they need me for the strength. If it's really heavy, that's when I come in.
1, 2, 3.
A Stuart will look at me and he like, why do you always hum? And I'm actually talking to the pieces. Okay? We're gonna get along, we're gonna be good friends. You ain't gonna hurt me, I ain't gonna hurt you.
Yeah, once upon a time I did some wrestling, and eventually you get old and too old to compete, and body starts breaking down.
That made
and
it worse.
you have to move on and grow up and get a full-time job.
You have a big crowbar. No, a big one.
We need 5 minutes of absolute quiet. Holy shit.
I was put on earth to do this. I mean, I really believe that. It's my joy and it's my punishment. Heaven and hell, both at the same time. I like that part of it. Who knows what I'm going to find tomorrow?
It's going. No, it's going. Hold on. What we're doing today is taking down this big old sign from the 1950s. We're rigging it up right now. We're going to load it on the truck. We're going to get it back to the shop, and maybe we can get all that old neon going again. You may notice that some of the bulbs are missing, but the bulbs are really not an issue. The neon being intact, the neon tubing is probably the primary thing we want to keep. We're going to get. Yeah, gotcha. Sorry about that. Nice one. I've reassured a few people that it's not going to the scrap heap. It's going to be saved and it'll be reused. Somebody will enjoy it and take care of it again.
1961, we put that thing up.
Really?
Yes.
50 years.
Are you taking it down permanently? How come?
They told us that they need a permit for that.
After all these years.
Unbelievable.
Well, I lived here on this street about 30-some years ago, and that sign was here. My children saw it. You knew you were home when you saw that sign. So if you were traveling and you came back, there it was. And if you're a new traveler and you came to the neighborhood, that's how you knew you found something kosher if you're from out of town. So for everyone, it was an important sign.
I have a lot of respect for the pieces, the people that made it, the houses they went into, the buildings, the times. I just think the things are special.
You know, it's in excellent condition for such an old sign. It's a steel sign. The color you see on there is porcelain and pink, which is a finish that's baked on. So we got to be really careful that we don't tip it on its edges, because if you tip it on the edges, you crack the porcelain off of it.
There's so much weight on this thing. If it touches the porcelain at all, it'll splinter it. So we got to get it just right. Watch your head. Lend me your jacket. Lend me your jacket.
Do I get it back?
Yeah. That about it? Watch the glass popping. This glass is gonna pop pretty soon. That thing's heavy. Shit. Whoa! Good. It's a good job, no chips, no nothing. And the guys did a really nice job. Really nice job. So, and the neighborhood's pretty happy. Lift this end up. Lift right there.
We're about to lift this very large, very heavy, odd-shaped metal window.
A guy was in earlier today that owns restaurants. He wants it for one of his new buildings. I've had it 15 or 20 years. It's been sitting back there for at least 10.
No, we want to put this here, put them there. That way it goes straight through there.
Without Todd, we're sunk. He's the anchor, he's the crane, he's the human forklift. So his role is height and strength. It was off the Red Cross building in Chicago, pretty famous building that got demolished 15, 20 years ago. And we saved this window.
The plan is now we're going to take this right here, put the cars here, put one in the front, that way we can roll it around like a torpedo, get in the position so we can back it up, and then we can brace it up against the wall. And then after that, we start putting the windows in.
There's 42 windows that go into this big, massive iron frame. It might be 1,000 pounds. With the glass in it, it's going to be 3,000 pounds for sure. Now pull it that way.
I hope my spine doesn't pop out of my lower back.
Come on, Albert.
I mean, we're always pushing the limits. We're always don't have enough people. We always don't have enough equipment. So it's always improvising.
I'm a pretty strong guy, but Todd's, 2 or 3 of me. So Stuart thought we could do it.
Make some real knots. With strictly muscle power, no machines, the good old-fashioned Neanderthal way, as I always put it. We're gonna sort of raise it up. Is it that heavy? Yes. If it's that heavy, we're not gonna get it. We tried it with 3 guys today on the ground and 2 on the roof. Didn't work.
Didn't have the right amount of guys to do the job. 4 down here, we pushing up on it, wasn't enough strength.
Well, today we have more manpower. We have 3 or 4 more guys, and I think it's still gonna be a challenge.
Albert, you get on that side. Todd, you get in the middle. Mark, you get on the other side.
It's back to winter weather, Chicago style. Not the Indian summer that was 2 days ago.
Still, I mean, the biggest thing of trying to get that thing up was, having it fall on you. If it does fall, I can just push the other guy in front of me and just, and run. I'll have some running room to get out of there.
We're not really doing much here. You guys got to walk it down. Come on. Me and Jeff are doing all the work.
The hardest part was getting that roof, where you got to get up under it, get that weight up under it so you can push higher. It got stuck right here at the chest part, but then once we got past that chest part, it went up pretty easy. And then you just take your time walking up in. But it held in and it went up just fine. Yeah, we was pushing it up, walking at the same time with that window pane, putting it in the right angle so once they get it leaned up there correctly, now they can put the windows in there.
Is it locked in down there?
Yeah, it's going. No, it's going. Hold on.
That wasn't so bad at all.
The panels are really spectacular. They're leaded glass, but not in the sense of just thin strips of lead. There are sort of guild figures made out of lead, double-sided. There's cartographers, which are map makers. There are mathematicians. There are astronomers. Pretty neat. Pretty neat. All right, and that's kind of it. That's about as cool a window as they get, really, and it's about as big, really.
All right.
Quick jump and we're on our way.
Today we are going to go to Highland Park, Illinois, and take apart a very nice French 1880, 1890 marble fireplace.
Generally, when we take something out of a house, the house is going to be destroyed, or it's dilapidated, or nobody lives there. So it's quite unusual for us to take something out of somebody's house where people are actually living.
Looking professional here.
You know, we'll take care. We're very polite. My mother taught me very well how to do these things.
Good morning. Howard, how are you?
We're not your regular salvage crew that goes in, you know, knocks over steps on the cat, defiles the daughter while they're in the house. We're very nice and polite. All right, 1, 2, 3.
The fireplace is attached to the wall. And problem number one is it's not a working fireplace, which means no heat. And heat in a working fireplace dries the mortar out, and also makes it easier for the mantle to come apart.
That knowledge is gained. There's no books about this or anything else. The first marble mantle I took out, I sort of, whoa, what the hell is this all about? So instead of taking the mantle away from the wall, we took the wall away from the mantle. It's so much more fun when you can just smash everything when the house is coming down.
Hammering the hearth shakes the whole fireplace up in a way that's, you know, where you're not twisting it and you're not trying to bend it or force it. Because vibrations crack the mortar joints that tie all the pieces together.
Marble is a much touchier stone to be very careful with. That's why I let Stuart do all the work. If he breaks it, it's his fault, not mine.
This thing's still not moving. So it's a very delicate operation. This is too much work.
Hit like a girl.
And assuming it's all mortared together, breaks those mortar joints, loosens things up more.
1, 2, 3. The top just came a little loose.
The goal is to get it out without breaking it, and particularly not chipping it, because, you know, chips are harder to fix than cracks.
Sort of booger-like, isn't it?
So you have to have patience, and you have to think, and you have to focus. Oh, that's good.
All right.
It's too heavy to take out in one piece. Okay. So ideally, we want the top in one piece. We want the two sides, the legs, each in one piece.
Let's glue that. Oh, man.
You have to know what your limits are. And I have been fortunate enough that I have survived 25 years of this pretty much unscathed. Stuart, not so much. You know, if I don't think I can do it, I don't do it.
Shit.
Okay.
We haven't really sworn all that much.
No. Well, we're on TV.
Fucking thing. People ask me, where does all this stuff go? And I said, well, it goes to, you know, great customers. One of our greatest and longest and dearest is the gentleman whose home we're about to enter.
Mom? Can we come in? I want Stuart to see your fancy place.
My memory's being jarred here. Wow. These are fantastic.
You remember you got these out of a home in Glenview, I think it was?
Glenview,
Glencoe, somewhere up there. Deer and Deer Architects, Prairie Style. And they were going on the trash heap, but you salvaged them and I took it all. We decided to configure this space as Mom's apartment.
Fantastic.
Her elder pad.
My elder pad.
Her
That's
elder
what
pad.
we call it.
Very good.
It's my beautiful elder pad.
The story that I've always gotten on the Prairie School is that they designed the windows to look like the wheat or the weeds. So here's a little micro, and here's the prairie right here. These are the root balls. These are the stems. Here's the flower, here's another flower. These are really, really good windows. And as a room divider here, they're spectacular.
All of the other fixtures in Mom's place, I don't know if you'll recall, you helped us salvage from a mansion in Elkhart, Indiana. These were originally the pool lamps over the pool table. And, 2 of them have been retrofitted to be Mom's kitchen lights, and then 1 is now dangling over her dining area. And the floor, I don't know if you recall, came from the sunroom in the front of the house. The marble was set in, I think it was concrete, and it had to be chiseled out. We only were able to salvage about 40% of the tiles, if I remember correctly. Most of the black broke. This is the sum total of black that survived. But it's also kind of fun because the black, the reason it was so fragile is because it's a marble that's got a lot of fossils in it. And fixtures, little knobs and things were also salvaged, curtain rods salvaged. So this is a lot of 1910, 1920 that's been retrofitted back into this home, which is 1911, I think, is when they moved in.
It's always beautiful when you can, use things, but when it's just the kind of person you are. You do things correctly, you do things period, and it's really not, it's gorgeous.
And what's fascinating to me is that it feels right. It doesn't feel like a bunch of old stuff. It feels like the place it was supposed to be, or whatever.
Everybody walks in here and says, "Oh, wow."
That's pretty good.
Everybody.
We're off to Morton Grove, Illinois to look at a 1968 E-Type Jaguar 4.2 1.5, which is in a guy's garage there.
He works, and he works, and he works, and he works, and he doesn't stop until he's done. And his expectations of the rest of the world are probably unrealistic.
I want to pay about $12,000, which would be an absolute steal, to tell you the truth. If I could end up at 15, I'd be deliriously happy. So the game plan is go out there, try to deal with them. Me and old cars, I pick them, buy them. The company buys them. Sometimes I buy them personally. Buy them, sell them. I just like them. I like to use them. I don't understand old cars. I'm not a mechanical guy. I couldn't tell you if an oil pan from a back tire, probably. But and I don't want to. But I could tell you that's a good-looking car. This mirror is good-looking. Just aesthetically, it's handsome.
Yeah, everything about it is about style.
So I had my mechanic go look at it.
The clutch, that's more to do on that, and the slave and the bleed, and either replace the parts. How long did you have it sitting?
I've had it since '75.
This stuff will clean up.
Yeah.
It just got tremendas on it. Just crud. Speedo says 20,000, or the odometer says 20,000, and then some change. So.
You think?
That's what it says. I don't.
What do you think, Rich? You think it's
real, yeah.
Is it? Yeah. Rich, you want to talk money?
You talk, yeah. I'll listen.
I'd like to pay like 12 grand for it. He didn't say much. He didn't say much of anything. And finally, kind of like a crinkled up face said, "No, I don't think that'll work." Rich, how about $14,000 cash?
It'd be hard for it to work for me. And I'd have to put it through my son, because he'd give me hell if I sold it to you for 14.
Yeah. Then he started out with this. "Oh, my son's been on eBay, and they're $25,000 for a basket case for a piece of junk on eBay." I said, "Oh, eBay, I hate freaking eBay. I'd like to own it. Work with me.
I will, but I mean, like I say, at 14, my son, I'd have to talk to him.
Well, where would you be at it on it today?
18 was the bottom. You know,
yeah,
that was,
I can't
you know.
do that. My son, eBay, 18,000. So this became his mantra. I went up to 15 fairly quickly, I think, and then I stopped there.
Let's do this as far as, you know, let's both think on it.
I can't do that. I have to make a deal.
You want to make a decision.
But I'm not at 18, that's for sure. He didn't like that number at all. My son, eBay, 18,000. Ah, come on, come on, come on. And meanwhile, I was getting a little testy with myself. It's like, okay, I'm not going to buy the car. Let's go. It's time to eat. So, Rich, 18's too much. We got to do something here. It's going to drive me nuts. Rich, wake up. Come on, work with me. And there's no response. I mean, I was negotiating against a brick wall, basically. You know, he could say, I appreciate your offer. That's a generous offer, but it's 18. He just said, my son, eBay, $18,000. I said, I get it. I get it. Talk to me, Rich.
I don't know. I have to talk to my son.
Oh, yeah.
No, we don't want to talk to your son.
I know he is. I know that.
And there were a few more levels of the my son eBay, 18,000. And he goes inside, comes back, and out of the blue, he said 16,000.
We started at 25. And
yeah,
18. Now you're at 15. And I'm at 18. I'm going to catch hell. And as far as, you know, the best I could do is 16, and I'm going to regret it probably.
I knew I was there. We're going to get this car bought. Put my hand out, said 16,000 bucks. He looked at me. He didn't quite grasp it, I don't think. He shook my hand. I said, we got a deal. 16, you got a deal. Thank you. Thank you.